Welcome back. You have reached us here at Pay Dirt. I'm your host, Brandon Herriott, aka B Dirt, with your host, Pay Saunders. Pay, what's going on, my man?
Man, I can't call it, man. How's it going, B?
It's going well. It's going well. Been a whirlwind few weeks for me. I've been AWOL. I've been going live from different states across the country. I'm finally at home for a couple weeks. Gonna mellow out.
Yeah.
I was on a heater last week. I limped through. I got there. I got to the finish line. But yeah, it was. It's been a good run. Now let's get everything calmed back down. Bring it all back in. Get back to work.
I'm the opposite, man. A lot of people they say they go through a sort of mini depression when they're coming back in town from traveling or whatever. I'm the opposite. I feel relieved. I get back home in my own bed, my own shower, my own clothes. It feels good to me. As somebody that travels a lot, I get exhausted from being out, going through airports and hotels. It's a lot.
That's the biggest thing for me right now. It's not. I'm happy to be back home. I'm happy to have a couple weeks. I just need some sleep, some relaxation.
Mhm.
I need to watch some football games with some sweatpants on, man. That's what that's what the doctor ordered for this weekend. I don't want to get all hussied up and be out on town. I want to be in somewhere watching some games.
Man, it feels good, man.
But hey, all people, thanks for listening to us again. Thanks for rocking with us again. This is the week 10 of the NFL season.
Mhm.
Like, subscribe, download, resubscribe, unsubscribe,
resubscribe, download again, share it with a friend.
Yeah, share it with a friend, big time. Don't be greedy and keep us to yourself. We're out here hitting a clip over 60% for the season, so things are going well. We got another shout out from one of our loyal listeners saying over the last couple of weeks they're 14-2, pairing our research with their research. So things are going well out there for our listeners. So we appreciate you. We appreciate you rocking with us. Appreciate your support as always. So hey man, I'm ready to go straight into college football, but I know that ain't how you rock it. Especially when it's in Chicago for TNF. We got the Panthers man. Plus 3.5 at the Bears. The Bears.
I want to apologize to everybody first, man, because I kicked the pooch last week on my NFL picks. So I'm gonna make it up to you. I got a Thursday night football parlay. The Carolina Panthers playing the Chicago Bears, it can go either way. Both teams are terrible. They combine for 3 wins on the season. I'm not gonna even tell you to take that spread. Neither one of the teams deserves that type of trust. I will tell this. Back. No, as of today, the Bears have him as doubtful. He's had 4 straight walkthrough practices. I don't think he's going to play. It's going to be another teabag experience. So let's ride it up. I'm taking the Bears to win outright, but I'm also taking that 38.5 under.
Ooh.
Offenses are down this year, man. I've been watching it, man. Offenses are down. These two teams can't score to save their life. That 38.5 looks great. Did you see T-Bag play last week? He had 4 turnovers, and 3 of the interceptions were god awful. I can't. No, I don't believe this. I don't believe both these teams can combine for 40 points. Carolina is 1-6 against the spread this season, and all of their games go under. They just played the Colts last week. The Colts are a pretty good scoring team, and the game still went under. I'm a ride that trend because they're playing another terrible team. 38.5 under, parlay with the Bears winning outright.
Well, you know more about the Bears than I do. That is for sure, my man. The one thing I know about the Panthers is they've been very inconsistent. So I don't know what to expect to get there. I know I know they didn't get the number one quarterback in last year's draft class. That seems pretty apparent to me right now. But we'll talk about our guy a little bit later on here. Let's go into some college football, man.
Yes.
College football. This is going to be the second time I do this year. You guys have to pay close attention to me. If I'm picking the Ohio State Buckeyes, get your ducats out. Because I don't like picking them. But here's what they did. They went in to Rutgers last week, did not play well, haven't played well the first half most of the year. Looked a little bit abysmal, still held on to that number one ranking in the college football playoffs, though. But they get a get-right game here at home versus the completely dysfunctional Michigan State Spartans. I think they've got more players in the portal than they got on the team right now. I don't think they're going to let off the throttle here. I think you're going to see big game, big numbers. I think this is going to be a huge blowout. They're minus 31, and I don't care. I think they're going to win this game by 42 or more. So I'm taking Ohio State here. They got to get those points. They got to get those pretty little points, making it look good. So style points, as we like to say.
I thought the BCS was dead. That's the only thing I agree with you right there, B Dirt. I do agree. OSU, those Buckeyes, those maybe snitching Brian Days, they do need style points to maintain that number one seed because segue. The real best team in that conference has its first actual game of the regular season this Saturday. The preseason's over. Your team, those Wolverines, they are playing the Nittany Lions. The Nittany Lions have just cracked the top 10 of the college football playoff rankings. Michigan is going to outright beat them. Penn State always loses these big games, at least in the last 10 years. They don't win these big games versus the actual big brothers of this conference. I'm confident Michigan's going to win this game. They have a Heisman hopeful in J.J. McCarthy. He's going to actually show improve. And Michigan is going to overtake Ohio State for number one in those rankings.
Hey, I'm rooting for that to come to fruition. I will tell you this. I heard James Franklin, I think it's for his last 11 against Ohio State, Michigan, or something ridiculous like that. He just said you're right. He doesn't win the big games. It is at home. It is the whiteout, but it is a noon game, and I think that helps Michigan. So I like us to win that by, I think it's a 5-point line. I could see us doubling that up somewhere between 10 to 14. I like Michigan to win too. That's not betting that game is probably an emotional hedge for me.
That's a smart hedge. Be smart. Be smart. Let me bet it.
Yeah, I don't need to get my heart tied up in my pocketbook. I don't need it. I don't need it with that one. When I bet the Michigan games, it's because I'm super confident with matchups and things like that. I'm confident in this one. Here's why I'm really confident about that game, and I'm gonna speak to you taking them here. Penn State doesn't really. They got Aller at quarterback now, got a big arm. But they don't have a wide receiver that can really push it downfield. They throw underneath a lot. Michigan has an excellent secondary, and if you just keep throwing digs and outs, you're going to end up with a pick six. That's why I know about that defense. They're not going to. You have to stretch that defense in order to keep them honest. If you would not let them come down and buy. So I like your pick. I do like your pick. I have another one. We're playing here with some top teams. We're playing with some top teams with some firepower here. Is it me or Washington Huskies just trying to lose a game? It seems like they want to lose the game, Pay.
I'd have no faith in them staying undefeated throughout the regular season. No faith. Penix, his draft stock has fallen a little bit. His Heisman stock has fallen a little bit. as they're still winning games, but they're not winning them convincingly, and that's going to hurt them in the long run.
Yeah, and then they got a Utah team coming into Washington, and they've played some games in Washington a little too close for my liking. So I don't know that home field advantage is really doing them that justice. They're giving 9.5 points to a good Utah team who likes to run the ball, likes to control it, has a really good defense. I expect this to be – I think Washington wins, but I think it's going to be a 4-point game. So again, I'm going to jump on that Utah line plus 9.5, and I'm going to pay attention. You do a little more research, see what the weather's like. I don't know. But that money line at plus 295, I might get 3-1 on a Utah bet. I might go like a 1-unit bet on that just for Washington's going to lose a game.
I agree with you. Washington's going to lose a game, and this might be that week. If you want to take a what do you want to call it, a teaser or a hedge bet, a little flyer. The ML, that money line is never a bad thing to do. Just throw a couple dollars on it, one little unit. Not a bad thing. I call it the hedge special.
There you go. Well, I do want to get your feelings on something here, because this has been just an automatic bet all year. This has been a 1-unit or 2-unit. Don't even question it. Don't even think about it. But they finally got that over under in our Iowa Hawkeyes game down to 28.5. Rutgers at Iowa.
Let me tell you.
I don't know, man. I still might take it just because of the hook.
I think so. I want to go there with you. Last week we talked about it. Like, Northwestern's terrible. Iowa's offense is terrible. Their offensive is in some type of flux. They just fired their offensive coordinator. The over-under was 30.5. I told everybody hit that under. And what was the final score? 10-7.
Oh, man. Just like watching paint dry, my guy.
And watch the money come in. And I said that -5 might be a little stretchy. And we were right on that. We were right. That -5, don't trust that. -5 is a bit much for Iowa. You're asking a lot. Just take the under. That 28.5 against Rutgers. Now, we did just see Rutgers play Ohio State. They played them tough.
Too, yeah.
Yeah, they played them tough.
Michigan tough in the first half.
What does that tell you? What does that tell you? They tell you they tell you it's going to be a low-scoring game.
Yeah, I think that. Listen, I've wrote it this far. It hasn't let me down. I'm probably going to back down to a 1-unit bet, but I kind of want to put 1 unit on this just to say that I want to bet under 28.5. I really do. I feel like that's a pride. Like do you get like a medal on your something, like a star on your shirt for on your gambling shirt? I don't know. What else you see out there in college you like?
I'm gonna hit it again. Last week we was talking about, you said you don't trust that Bama offense. Bama offense came to play against LSU, did they not?
They did, and we were talking about this backstage. You got me wondering about it. I took the throttle off during the show. After the show, I went back and looked a little bit of the LSU footage, specifically them against Missouri. And I thought Missouri actually took their foot off the throttle. I didn't like the play calling in that game, but you're right, man. LSU's defense didn't look good. Alabama seems to be figuring things out. I think the Milrose is actually maturing in front of our eyes.
My goodness.
Obviously athletically talented. I never questioned that, but definitely starting to see him mature. And I even went on the over on that one and had it come home.
He looked, that was almost Heisman-esque what he did to LSU. Heisman-esque. It's a little late in the season for it, but if this happened earlier in the season, his name would be up there. Yeah. I'm looking for big things from the guy, from the kid. And I'm also looking for them to continue the good vibes in Tuscaloosa. They are playing Kentucky, 11-point faves. Bama, they're taking that easily.
Yeah, I'm not. I glimmered at that. I didn't jump on it, but I could see that bet coming through for sure. Kentucky's let me down pretty much all year. I got a game I'm going to avoid. Pretty much been saying this the past couple weeks. I just expect, and it may not happen. I'm surprised it hasn't yet. But I just expect USC to have a game where they beat someone they shouldn't. Now, again, just like it's obviously not Caleb Williams' fault, but just like LSU, their defense, I mean, porous. They're bad. It's not the line that I hate on this one. The line's minus, Oregon minus 15 at home. I think it's a pretty good line. I'm not hot on it one way or the other. The one that I'm going to avoid is the over under 73.5. That's normally an automatic bet it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do it with these two teams. I just can't. I could see this being a blowout game. Like you said last week, we were talking about some of these big numbers. Can you see a blowout game being a 52-24? Yep, I can. I can here. It's I don't know, man. It's something. I'm avoiding that game at all costs. Don't like it.
I got another rivalry-ish game that I'm very confident about. I'm confident about all my Saturday picks. I might even tell you to parlay them. Ooh. We've got that ACC Thunder. We've got Florida State 2-touchdown favorite over Miami, and I think that's coming home easily. I think they go up 2 touchdowns in the second quarter and never look back.
Yeah, that's in Tallahassee too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough when Miami's had a quarterback that looks like he's playing with zero confidence. Going into Tallahassee and hearing that crowd's going to be definitely into it. First time they've been undefeated this late in the season in quite a while. Yeah, I could see that coming home.
Tyler Van Dyke doesn't look NFL. Like, he doesn't look like he'll get drafted at this point. He looks bad. And Florida State's defense is for real.
Yeah, and he's got the arm strength, the body, the type. I don't know what's going on down there. He obviously doesn't have the weapons, but for the wideouts or whatever. But man, he should be playing better than he is. I don't like it. That's a hostile environment he's going into. I could see that coming on.
He's not going to break out of his rut this weekend. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think you're right. What about anything else you got on Saturday you wanna address, or you wanna give the people a quick break and come back for Sunday?
Go ahead and put those tickets in, put those slips in, come back to us. We'll talk to you Sunday.
All right, we'll pay some bills and be right back. Right, welcome back to Pay Dirt. You've got Pay Saunders. You've got Brandon Herriott, a.k.a. B Dirt. We gave you our Saturday picks for the football gods to bless us with another great week. And now it's time for Sunday. But notice I don't say NFL because you've already given the guys Thursday night parlay, all about your Chicago Bears. But now we roll into the NFL. Now, we talked about this before we got on. You liked a little bit more than I did this week. So I'm going to let you start it off. Where are you headed to?
Man, if I told you a team who's possibly got the best running back this season, they're 6-2, at home, coming off a bye week, and they're playing a team that's lost 3 straight games, and they're giving them 3? You would run to that, wouldn't you?
I'm listening.
Yeah. But the teams in question is Jacksonville against San Francisco 49ers, who's also coming off a bye week. Oh my goodness, I want that so bad, but my respect level for San Francisco is way too high for me to just play in their face like that. I want to though.
Do they get Debo back?
I haven't heard that Debo's ready to come back yet.
That's something I would have to look at. Chase Young, I think, is going to play some more of a disruptive role. Bosa's been playing with a broken toe, so that's going to definitely anybody that's ever had a broken toe knows that's going to affect your push off getting to the quarterback. Man, they almost have to bounce back, don't they?
They saying Debo Samuel will be back. As of 15 minutes ago, he had a full participant in practice today on Wednesday. So they're saying he will play come Sunday.
That's tough, man. I listen, you laid out a whole bunch of reasons why, but I also do that thing where I look at records and who's going to be where at the end of it. 6-3, I think, is still a pretty good mark for the Jags.
It is in that division, yeah. But if the Jags can pull this off, they have officially arrived.
Oh yeah, you start putting them in the top 10. Yeah, no doubt.
Top 10. I'm putting them
top 5, top 6.
It's a conversation to go top 5. Yeah, it's a conversation. You can't dismiss them any longer.
Yeah, that's one of the best games on the docket to watch, as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised you didn't hit me with the watch. But I can't, man. I don't know if I can. I don't know. I think my pocketbook's closed for that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with you there, man. It's too close for comfort. I want to so bad though, but I'm not that confident in the Jags. They give me one more prove it week. One more prove it week, and next week I promise you I'm taking them against whoever.
But hey, listen, the 1:00 games are giving us a little something this week. Last week I was, hit the alarm for 4:15 just in case I fell asleep because I didn't care. This week, we got the Browns at the Ravens. Those two, I mean, I don't know what to expect offensively from the Browns, but those two teams are going to hit each other and be nasty. You got the Texans at the Bengals, and you see what CJ Stroud's out there doing. Can the Bengals stay hot? Does Stroud stay hot? Like that's an interesting game. So there's a few of them on Sunday at 1:00 I like.
You mentioned the first one that I like. Being that we're AFC North homies, man, we can't ignore this one. This is pretty much the first Super Bowl of the season for that division. Baltimore, they might be. I don't know any team that's playing better ball than them right now.
I don't think anybody is.
No, they're playing great ball. They're doing it, and they're doing it in a multitude of ways. Their defense is obviously showing up. Their offense is. They're beating you up in the air. They're running. They're gashing you on the ground. However way they need to do it. They are just clowning teams right now. But a lot of that has been against teams that don't really know them that well. This week, they got a team that's very familiar with them. A team that might have a better defense than them, actually. Cleveland. They're giving Baltimore 3. Baltimore's got the best pass defense in the NFL. The quarterbacks, they've been giving quarterbacks hell.
I got Baltimore -6
season. Baltimore -6. Ooh.
Yeah. On DraftKings right now.
Ooh, that's high. I might actually go Cleveland with that one. Cleveland, I don't trust their pass game. I don't trust their run game. The game plan is simple for Baltimore, but as Baltimore has done enough that they left their foot off the throttle sometimes when they're playing teams that they see as equals, and they don't put them away. If it's a 6, the spread is 6.
6.
Oh, I feel good saying Baltimore can win this game, but 6, I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't see I don't see any quarterbacks on the injury list.
Are you serious?
Deshaun should be back, right?
It's crazy. Deshaun actually wants to play a tough team. Look at that.
I don't
Look
know.
at that. I don't know.
Suspicious.
My common sense is telling me I should take that Cleveland.
My common sense is telling me I ain't betting that. But I will tell you this: Cleveland plus 205, 2-1 odds. You get over 2-1 odds for any AFC North team to beat the other one. You almost have to. You almost have to. I don't think it's more than a 60% chance one way or the other when those teams play each other. But
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take the chicken way out. I'm taking Baltimore on the money line, straight up. Baltimore wins. I'm taking the over. I'm taking the under. Again, offenses are not that good this season. I'm hitting that under. It's 38.5 right now in DraftKings.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm taking the 38.5. Give me the under.
I think that Baltimore money line that you're using kind of as a teaser, Phil.
Yeah.
Well, I like an AFC North game, but it ain't that one. I'm not betting that one. And it's not the Bengals minus 6.5. I think they could cover that. I think they will cover it, but I'm not confident enough to go throwing ducats on it. I like this game. Steelers at home -3 versus the Packers. Not only do I like this game, here's what I like. I like the Steelers to cover. I think they win by, I'm going to say 4-7, somewhere in that sweet spot. It'd be close, but not too close. I'd love this line to be 2.5. But I like it under 39. And when you talk about good receivers, and when good receivers get disgruntled and have a histrionics of being outspoken or saying something, or in this case, putting something on Instagram that led you to believe, free me, whether that means he's unhappy or he wants the ball more, whatever. George Pickens is a bad man. He's a really good wide receiver. I like him a lot. I think because not only did he come out and say things or post something that he said wasn't that big a deal, was misconstrued. The team's come out this week having his back. I think that gives, we had Jamar Chase doing that earlier this year. I'm always effing open. What did you see that following week with Jamar Chase? 12 catches.
12 for 120, right?
So right now, George Pickens over 43.5 yards. I'm taking that. I'm taking an in-game parlay here. Steelers -3, under 39. George Pickens over 43.5 yards. I think he's going to get fed this week. And he's got the explosion to make that up in one play, too.
He does. And B, we're going to have to disagree on this one. The Pittsburgh Steelers have been outgained every game this season. Their defense, their offense is ranked 29th out of 32.
Yeah.
They are 28th. They are 25th in passing yards, 28th in passing touchdowns, 25th in rushing yards, 23rd in rushing touchdowns. You think, okay, that sounds like Pittsburgh, right? Actually, their defense ain't all that good, too. They make splash plays. If it wasn't for TJ Watt winning games single-handedly, this would be a lot more aware to the general football watching public. Their defense is actually ranked 31st. They are 25th against the pass. They are 29th against the run. Their record should be the exact same record as the team I have on my shirt. They are no better than the Chicago Bears. They just have one better player than everybody else on the Bears. TJ Watt.
Man, that's a bad man, though.
He is a top 5 player in the league. TJ Watt is incredible. I've very seldom seen in my 30 plus years of watching football, I've seen a defensive player that can win games by himself, and he does that. But they are an overrated team. They are playing with house money. They are on borrowed time. It's a house of cards this whole season for them. They should not be 5-3. Telling me the Packers, they're giving the Packers +3. If this was 3.5, 4, whatever, I'll be right there with you. Like, yeah, I got this. Steelers on the way. +3, I got the Packers. That's too close.
Turnover differential.
For the Steelers, the turnover differential is
+8. Tied for third best in the league.
That's true. Second in the league.
That's where that flips.
Mm-hmm.
Did you read who's number 1 in the league in turnover differential? Go ahead, read out loud for folks.
Let me find it for you, man.
Hold on. What's that? Look into the camera and read it. Look into the camera and read it.
All right. Let me look. I hope it's not the team I think it is. No, it's not them. It's not them. All right. Let me go back. Let me filibuster a little bit.
Everybody on YouTube is laughing right now. They got 9. They're tied with the Chargers. Who'd have thought that?
The Chargers have 9 turnovers? That's
the turnover differential is +9 for the Chargers and +9 for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh, they ain't gonna do it. I figured it was the Bengals, but I was hoping it wasn't the Packers. That's what I was looking for.
Nope. They're not here right now. Top 5 is the Bengals, Chargers, Saints, Steelers, Bucks.
Okay.
Those are your teams at 9 and 8. Jacksonville's got 8. Dallas got 8. Houston's got 8. San Francisco's got 8. No, sorry. I lied. Dallas got 5. Jacksonville's got 5. Houston's got 5. Then you start getting into your 0s and 1s. Baltimore's only got a +1. That's surprising to me.
Yeah, because Baltimore fumbles a lot.
Chicago Bears, -9.
That does not surprise me.
That's the seller.
The Chicago Bears, we have 5 turnovers last week. Don't forget that. And
so
forced 0.
I think they force a young quarterback who has not been very consistent into some turnovers, and that's the reason why I got the Steelers. I'm sticking with my pick. I'm good with it. I think the squeaky wheel is going to get some oil. I'm taking the Pickens over 43.5 as well. And I don't like picking the Steelers either. I normally like dogging them and trashing them. But they're going to get something here against the Packers, I think.
Something's got to give with this team, man. They're not that good. They just aren't.
They're going to win 9 games.
They're going to fall up the stairs.
Yeah.
Into 9 wins. They're going to fail upwards, huh? Okay. All right.
Hey, listen, TJ Watt might have everybody in a what is those baby Borns? He might get the whole team in a baby Born and carry them up the stairs into a 9 and 8 season.
I mean, them beating the Packers, that wouldn't surprise me, but beating them by 4 or more, I'm not willing to put any money on that one. I'd rather take Green Bay +3.
All right. Agree to disagree.
We shall see.
What else you got on the NFL slate you like?
All right, man. Detroit are playing the Chargers.
Yeah.
Detroit, the NFC, I almost said NFC Central, the NFC North leading Detroit Lions. They are coming off a bye week, and they've got the LA Chargers on a short week. The Chargers offense looked abysmal against the Jets in front of the nation on Monday, and they are ripe to get popped by those Detroit Lions. Detroit's only a 3-point favorite at home. I think that's easy cake.
I got them at LA. Detroit at LA +3.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, you're right. There are at
405 game.
LA.
But hey, I do like that though. I still like it. And I'll tell you why. I think Brandon Staley's career is about to change pathways. I don't trust it. I like Detroit coming off the bye. To get healthier. And B, just to be ready. The Chargers, I think coming off the bye also won't change. The travel won't affect them as much. The Chargers, I don't think they have enough speed on the outside, and their wide receivers. They have good wide receivers, but they have big wide receivers. Like they don't have. They need some more fast twitch to me, other than just Eckler out of the backfield. So I think it kind of hinders them a little bit. And man, they just look lost.
Yeah. Something's wrong with those Chargers. And then you said it right there. You got to start at the top. Brandon Staley, he's been making confounding coaching decisions since he started there. Do I got to go back to week 17 2 years ago? 2020, what was that, 2022? Week 17? Yeah. When he could have tied to get in the playoffs and decided to just lose anyway. I have no faith in the Chargers keeping this close. It's not a recipe. All the reasons I laid out, it doesn't sound like this game they can fight. They can fight and scratch and claw their way to keeping that close. Or to outright win. This team doesn't have an outright win bone in their body. And Detroit got that dog in them.
They do, man. They do.
Kneecaps and all.
Yeah, eating kneecaps. Listen, I have a lot of friends that are Lions fans. They're kind of my secondary team. I've never been a Dan Campbell fan. I still have a hard time drinking the Kool-Aid. But the team isn't. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. I've got one more. So, I've only got one more game I really like in the NFL.
Okay.
And this is, again, one of those things where I think it's a bounce back, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got the Seahawks at home -6 against the Commanders. Now, listen, a couple weeks ago, the Commanders had a good offensive outburst against the Eagles, scored 31 points. Other than that, 20 points against the Patriots, 7 points against the Giants, 20 against the Bears. I don't see them. It seems like the only team they can score points on for whatever reason is the Eagles. I don't trust them. They're up and down. I like Bieniemy. I'm not hearing good things about Ron Rivera over there. The Seahawks are not as bad as they played last week against Baltimore. Baltimore made Detroit look that bad. I think that's the only reason why this isn't a 7.5 point spread is because they looked that bad last week. I'm going to take the Seahawks -6 and just hope that Geno can play average quarterback. That's all I need you. Geno, just don't try to do too much. Just get it out there.
I agree with that. I mean, that six is large enough it's respectable. I don't think DC is going on the road to keep that close. They're a middling team, and that's not what middling teams do. I've got two more games I like.
Oh, you got two?
I've got two more.
All right.
I've got a prop and a game. So you talked about this backstage a little bit. The Monday night game versus the Buffalo Bills versus the Denver
Broncos.
I was about to say Nuggets. Broncos are coming off a bye, and they had their best win in it seems like seasons as they upset Kansas City. Do those good feelings roll over and they keep it close or outright win? Buffalo's a 7.5 point fave. If this was a 6.5, I would be all over it. 7.5. That hook, man. You love to say it. That hook is scary. That hook is scary. I am more confident in taking the Bills to outright win. I think that's the Bills got to right the ship. They're 5-4. They're supposed to be a Super Bowl contender. They got to start proving it, and they're going to prove it they're going to prove it upside the head of the Broncos and up and down that field repeatedly. But do they win by 8 or more? I'm not confident enough to say it. I know you aren't confident enough to say it either.
No way.
So I would take them outright easily, though. Yeah, and I definitely would pick parlay that with one of my other parlays just to get the good juices flowing. I'm gonna parlay this Bills outright win with the Baltimore outright win and that Baltimore under 38.5. Put those three together.
Okay, I see what you did there. Brought it all the way around.
Yeah. The last game I'm looking at, it is Vegas versus the Jets. Vegas had a great win. They had a lot of good-looking energy. They got that McDaniels monkey off their back, and they actually looked like a competent football team for the first time all season, for pretty much. But water always finds its level. Just because it's high tide now doesn't mean it's always going to be high tide. Their offense is one of the worst offenses in the league. I'm gonna say that again. Their offense is one of the worst offenses in the league. They are playing a rookie quarterback, well, not a heralded rookie quarterback either. Devontae Adams still isn't getting the ball. Last year's Russian champ still isn't running the ball as you would expect them to. And now they got to see the Jets, who just put their hands all over the Chargers offense. The Jets defense, who's been giving everybody problems all season. The Jets also can't score. I don't think I need to go into that. They got Wack Wilson as a quarterback, and it's going to be a sludge all around in that game. The over/under 36. I'm taking that under. You've heard me say it again for the third time this episode. Offenses are down. I'm taking that under 36 in that game.
I like that. And I will also, you made me think about it for a second. And I do want to preface this. In that Steelers game, the only one I'm putting multiple units on is the under.
Mm-hmm.
The under 39 is the one I think is the better play.
Yeah, I agree.
So, well, that's a pretty decent week, man. I'm a little quiet on the NFL games, but I just didn't really find enough. And again, I'm not gonna go dig for gold when I know it's not there.
Nah, don't do it. That's how you end up chasing. And this is a responsible betting show. We don't want you chasing. We don't want you doing that. Be smart. Bet with your brain, not with your heart.
Yeah. I agree. I'm looking at some of my. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag yet, but I'm looking at some of my season-long prop bets. In college and pros, we got some chances out there. Pay.
I got one that I don't know them all offhand, but I know two of them in college. I had Bama under 10.5, and I had Colorado under 5. It's getting shaky, both of those right now. Colorado, I'm feeling a little bit more better about, but Bama, they're turning it around at the right time.
They are. Well, hey, I got nothing else for the people other than thank you for riding with us again. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing, giving us those thumbs up, those 5-star reviews, and sharing us with your friends. You can check Pay out everywhere on Fans First Sport Network. He basically, if you have a show, he's on there, doing guest appearances or guest hosting or the star like he is here, he's all over the place. You got him at the Bear Claw. You got him at what's the Bulls one? Because I always want to call it Bulls on Parade, but that's not the name of it.
It's Shot City Bulletin Board.
Okay, I see what you did there. Then you have Pay Dirt. Then you have the homies. Catch us on Fridays. That was fun to catch on YouTube too. I'm not gonna lie. We have a lot of fun with the chat fam, homies nation. Good time. What else? I feel like you're on something else.
We do have our NFC North homies show that debuts. Well, that comes out every Wednesday. You can catch that on the. You can catch that on. Well, it depends on which Wednesday because we cycle who hosts.
Gotcha.
So it's always going to be audio. You can always catch that on my feed, the Bear Claw. You can catch that on the Vikings First and Skull feed, Bleachers to Speakers. That's a Detroit Lions show, and Love of the Leapers, the Green Bay Packers show. And this week, our Detroit affiliate hosted, so it was live on YouTube on the Motor City Blues. So check that out if you got a chance.
I like it. You can check me out doing Running Through the Jungle. Also catch me on the homies. You see me on the post game reaction for the Bengals. Anything Bengals I'm doing. And you can also check me if you're watching the Know-It-Alls on Sundays. You can normally check me out, especially the next couple weeks. I will be in the chat trolling the homies. So come on over and check that out too. We appreciate you, and we will catch you next week when we hit Pay Dirt.
And we're out.